just got back from our family vacation in Prince Edward Island National Park. I had a lot of fun. We spent a lot of time at the beach since I really like that. But this year it was a little bit special. The people in the park told me all kinds of things about the beach. Now I know that the beach has both living and non-living parts. This is called an ecosystem. The beach in Prince Edward Island National Park is part of the coastal ecosystem. It seems pretty complicated, but I learned that an ecosystem contains all sorts of things that depends on each other. For example, in salt water, there is a little thing like microorganisms, bigger ones like fish, and even plants like algae. We often want to take a souvenir home, but if we take things like algae or shells, then the other visitors don't get to enjoy them. And it will be bad for the animals, like the piping plover, that use shells to camouflage their nest. The piping plover is a small bird that is endangered. In the spring, the male looks for a well-camouflaged place on the beach to make his nest. Female can lay 4 eggs in 8 days. After 20 days, the eggs hatch and the chicks are up and walking around on their own when they're only hours old. The chicks need to increase their weight by 10 times so they can make the long journey south. Unfortunately, there are fewer and fewer piping plover that are able to survive. This is why we have to pay special attention to them. At the beach, we have to remember that we are sharing their home. At the park, there are plover monitors who check on the nest and help protect them. They also explain that it's partly to protect the eggs, nest, and chicks, that we can't take our dog, Molly, to the beach with us. When people leave garbage on the beach, predators like crows and foxes are attracted to that area. When foxes eat garbage or are fed by people, this changes their natural diet and they don't learn how to hunt for themselves. Sometimes, foxes will build their dens in the sand dunes. Dunes are large sand hills that protect the island from wind and storms. While they don't look it, they are very fragile. The sand in the dunes come from red sandstone. When waves hit the cliff, parts of the cliffs break off. This is called erosion. Once in the ocean, the piece of rock is slowly worn down and are broken down into grains of sand. The sand grains are washed ashore where they dry in the sun. Then the sand is constantly being moved. The grains of sand will whirl around until they are stopped by an obstacle. And then the sand will begin to accumulate and a dune will form. Then a plant that we call marram grass grows on the dune. In Latin, marram grass is called sand-loving, and that is why the long roots and root hairs of the plant keep the sand in place inside the dune and protect it from the wind. There is a well food chain in the dune. All these species depend on the dune to survive, so it's very important that we keep the dunes in good health. When we first arrived, I really wanted to climb the dune. When I was told I wasn't allowed, I was very disappointed. But then they explained that 10 steps could destroy the marram grass and hurt the dunes. I changed my mind. Now I understand that the parks have rules for good reasons. I think we should all use the dune crossing boardwalk because park staff works hard to protect the dunes and because the dunes are a special treasure in the park. Finally, when we go to the beach, we are in a very fragile ecosystem. We have to pay attention and try not to leave any signs of our visit so that the ecosystem can stay healthy. I would really like to go back to PEI National Park next year so that I can continue to help Parks Canada protect all the natural treasure in the park. I can't wait to see you, Grandma. Hugs and kiss, Emily.